All right, we're going to check out the behind the scenes video here for Jurassic Park Survival, the first thing we've gotten from this game in a hot minute, thereby proving the game still exists. I watched this video last night and recorded a video for it, but I was extremely tired and it was just awful, so I'm just going to redo it. I am still traveling, of course, so this is still being recorded off of my crappy laptop, so we have all the fun problems that come with that. Including poor audio quality. Not that her audio quality was the best to begin with. I'm probably just going to pause this and talk about things as they come up,
we've waited over 30 years
rather than watch the whole thing.
We've heard consistently from our fans that they were very interested in seeing a game set.
I'm going to try not to talk over people, though, so let's start this over.
To re-enter into Jurassic Park is something we've waited over 30 years to be able to do.
We've heard consistently from our fans that they were very interested in seeing a game set in Jurassic Park. We were able to make that happen.
Yeah, so starting with a lot of just, CGI cutscene stuff from the first trailer, or I guess the only trailer.
Jurassic Park Survival is a first-person game. It's set a day after the events of the film. You play as Maya Joshi, who is an engine scientist, and it's your job to survive the island.
For the first time, we're giving you this opportunity to travel back to Isla Nublar, to explore Jurassic Park.
Taking on a project like this is a huge responsibility.
Yeah, so those shots, if I remember correctly, these are pre-alpha, so these are like in-engine. These are not CGI shots, so this is what the game should theoretically look like. Although, of course, between alpha and release, a game can downgrade the graphics a bit if it affects, if they decide it's worth it, right? If they need the game to run better, you can lower things a little bit. But it looks pretty good to me.
Explore Jurassic Park.
Taking on a project like this is a huge responsibility. This film stands out as a landmark moment in cinema.
It's really exciting to be able to translate this incredible film into a video game because you really have the opportunity to go much deeper into...
I think this shot's interesting because it's not super obvious in the film, but if you pay attention to the backgrounds, you can see that the visitor center is still under construction. So it's nice that detail is captured here by seeing these it's upper level balcony that's still kind of being worked on. Getting to see a lot of this kind of stuff that we never saw in the film, or seeing parts of the film from a different angle will be really, really cool. I mean, that's something people have wanted for a long time, to be able to just explore the island and see everything with their own digital eyes. So it's really nice that we're getting our first little hint at this kind of thing. It's really painting the game environments as being detailed and open, which is exactly what everybody wants from this.
The film. We've worked really closely with our partners and with Amblin and our filmmakers to make sure that we're capturing the island and all the dinosaurs in really great detail.
We go through room by room in the game, level by level. We look at every possible resource from archives, from the film, from production stills, production blueprints to make sure every prop is in the same place.
Yeah, looking at these lab scenes are really interesting because the control room and the lab in the film are very dense sets. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things in the background you can only just kind of make out. I think this right here, this should be one of the Cray supercomputers. You can see the red status lights on the front, and you can see those in the film for 1 second, but being able to just kind of roam this room will be really cool.
We really
assuming we get to do that.
A close look at some of the props from the film. We went to the actual incubator, saw the eggs. Just that level of authenticity was just amazing, and it really brought the teams together.
Yeah, and seeing the lab there too, same thing, right? Really cool.
We thought Saber would be the right developer for this project.
Did I not turn on closed captions? I thought I did this.
They've really leaned into creating fantastic looking, beautifully rendered dinosaur models and animations that will look great in the game.
We were inspired by the original film. All the encounters are going to be amazing. The interactions with the dinosaurs, to see them on the big screen, and it's something else when you can actually take part and interact with them in a meaningful way.
One thing that is extremely important to get right is the dinosaurs. They are the star of this franchise. The textures, the movements, the weight of the dinosaurs on the earth, that will all feel like the dinosaurs that you...
So yeah, the shot here of it like walking through mud is pretty cool, and this Dilo shot we'll talk about too. Why don't I go back a little further? Yeah, just the way these tracks are kind of left. Of course, there's like very clear watching it on slow motion here. There should be like a sweep from the toes cutting through the mud there, but listen, the fact that there's any trackways at all is pretty cool. This is an interesting shot here. So this is like the tour rail in the background that the Explorer cars run on. And I don't know if it's like been washed out here in the front maybe, or if this is just an unfinished section of the tour. We got some like vehicles and stuff in the background there. This looks almost untextured. This looks like a gray, like a completely flat gray vehicle, which is fun. Kind of maybe giving us an idea of how far along some of the development actually is. If they have like untextured assets in this trailer, that's implying that like, they kind of know they've been radio silent for a long time and they were in a rush to get something out. Don't get a terribly good look at the Dilo in this. I mean, you get a decent look. Like, he looks good and lanky. Sometimes the Dilos look a little chunky, a little awkward. This one looks pretty good.
From the first film.
Yeah, that's about the best look you can get at him running towards the camera, but still, like, kind of need a good static shot from the side to get a sense of, like, how nice the in-game Dilo looks here. But, I mean, it doesn't look obviously wrong in any particular way. There's been a lot of comments that the Rex is, like, inaccurate for the first film. And like it definitely was in the pre-rendered trailer. And I think the galleys looked a little off too, right? If I remember, they look a little Jurassic World-ish, which makes sense because that's probably the CG assets they're going to base things on, right? And they can try to recreate some of the design of the original animals, but it's still going to probably be based on existing Jurassic World assets, just adjusted.
I think that's what players really want. They want to be put in the driver's seat of a dinosaur encounter and have to survive it.
A little bit of actual gameplay of like hiding in a log from the Rex. A little awkward, I think, with the Rex just kind of chucking the log into the distance like that, but like it's fine. It's just a scene.
Can't wait and come face to face with the T-Rex. I'm gonna purposely lose so that I can get eaten by T-Rex.
Sure you are. Me when I'm playing a game for the first time, I'm going to purposely lose to experience what it's like to lose this game. Then I'll play it for real later.
Not only do you get to re-experience all of the incredible locations from the film, but because Jurassic Park Survival is designed in game format, it gives you more time to be able to explore new locations.
There's lots of facilities.
So yeah, seeing new stuff is definitely something people want to see from this game, things that weren't even in the film at all. So kind of a little concept art stampede type scene. Parasaur doesn't necessarily give me JP1 Parasaur vibes, but it's not like overtly bad. Also, it's concept art, so it doesn't really count, right? That is clearly like the Fallen Kingdom Brachiosaurus 101, like literally like copy pasted from the film. So I think this shot, I saw some discourse that people were talking about there being like multiple raptors in this, as opposed to the one from the freezer that we know escapes, in the context of the game at least. And I wonder, is this the only place where this multiple raptor information is coming from? Because nobody should put stock in this, like confirming multiple raptors. Actually, looking closer at that para, is that just a Dominion para? Kind of the facial detail here makes me think it might be. Imagine they just use a Dominion para in this for the Parasaur. After we get the whole kind of canon headache of the Biosyn style para being on the Rebirth Island. Then they just do it again. That would be funny. I'd be okay with it. I like that design.
Lots of facilities, there's lots of buildings, there's lots of attractions that are under construction, there's a hotel under construction. So fans are going to see things and landmarks that they only wish they saw. Some elements from the game, some elements from the film that were talked about, but never actually conceived in the film.
So as a single-player, narrative-driven experience.
That hotel might have concept art from the first film because there are a few extra like attractions that were designed in like pre-production and never actually utilized in the film.
Jurassic Park needs both strong story and
In-game
strong
raptor.
gameplay.
There's an interactive component that.
So that was a interesting little bit of gameplay that gave a very Alien Isolation vibe, not in the sense of like survival horror, but
And strong gameplay.
this running around with different gadgets to deal with like some sort of puzzle. This seems to be like maybe some sort of tracker or something because it's kind of
There's an
spiking
interactive
like an audio
component
signal
that makes games unique from film.
It's
Like
going
a
to feel
map,
like new,
like an
but
immersive
familiar at
map
the same time.
there.
And then you'll be part of that tension and part of that drama and part of that awe and wonder that Jurassic really is for fans. But you'll be front and
In-game
center for
Rocky.
everything.
When we were deciding
Head
how
looks really
to
static
introduce the Raptors, one thing that jumped out to us was, what if we could make the player experience what Lex and Tim did in the kitchen? That and
See, now that makes me a little concerned just because they immediately cut to the trailer footage of just like, or pre-alpha footage actually here for this. But like, what if we can recreate, what Lex and Tim felt in the kitchen? That's not a bad idea in concept. I just hope they don't skew too close to the exact sequence, right? If they literally have a set piece that's like, you're in the kitchen again and you got to crawl between these cabinets to evade a dinosaur again, just like in the movie, that might be a little annoying. Because there's so much they can just do with like that style of scene. They don't have to recreate, the exact environment. And the fact that that's what we're seeing here while they talk about it makes me a little concerned that's the direction they're going in. I think if I have any major concerns with this game, one is that it'll focus too much on nostalgia and like, hey, you remember the movie that everybody liked? This is just like the movie. And like some of it has to be just like the movie because it's obviously based on it, but like recreating the same kind of scenes with a different character is like a step too far because then it's just clearly a reference, and that stuff annoys me.
other sequences like it are meant to put you in the shoes of those movie characters to experience the terror for yourself.
So every one of the characters in that film is indelible, and this is the bar that we're shooting for. These characters need to be as specific, distinct, colorful as the characters in the film. And Maya is the biggest example of this.
The actual journey, the arc of Maya, it's incredible. She was personally recruited by Dr. Henry Wu to become an InGen scientist to work at the park. The start of Maya's journey, she's unable to escape Isla Nublar.
Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind.
I only just kind of started looking at the actual captions. They're clearly auto-generated and are kind of funny. So there might have been some interesting errors there earlier.
On Isla Nublar.
As soon as Pyle read for the part, we knew she was going to be our Maya.
I really relate to Maya in lots of different ways. She's incredibly passionate and adventurous. I think she takes risks. She steps outside of her comfort zone. I feel like I'm learning a lot about myself, to be honest. She's very inspiring, and she has a lot of admirable traits. I think that I'm standing on the shoulders of some of the coolest female characters in cinema history.
This is like very pre-canned, like movie actor interview of like, oh yeah, my characters, they're the greatest, and they're really inspiring to me. Very, very cliche. Nothing against the character or whoever this actress is, but it's really giving me that like promotional film interview vibe.
Incredible.
I really hope that when fans play this game, they get to relive the magic they experienced from the original film.
I really hope we get the 93 para design proper in this game because it's such an underrepresented design in the franchise. This is obviously the only scene it shows up in really in the distance, really far in the distance. You like can't make out the details on the paras. So that, when people, make a mod of this animal for like JWE2, they're relying a lot on concept art and then like the murals of the dinosaurs in the visitor center, which also have like the same color palette as the concept art and probably do represent or are intended to represent the actual animals in the park. But we've never had like a toy for this. We've never had it actually properly show up in a game for real. Like when the parasaurs show up in Jurassic Park, the game, the Telltale adventure game, they have a whole different design. So I think it'd be really cool if we actually got to see these guys like up close rendered properly, capturing like the actual detail of this very first design for the Parasaur, because it's just such a deep cut in the franchise that just never shows up anywhere else. Like it's a pretty much an entirely different Parasaur design from like Lost World and onward.
All of us on the team are extremely passionate about this film. We all have our own childhood memories of it, and so we've come to it with the greatest respect.
What are these little feet? I'm sorry, but like,
Respect.
But it is everything, so we are taking the time to do it justice.
Respect. And so we've come.
Yeah, what those? What are these from? What do these show up anywhere in the movie? What is this? I don't know. Sound off if you know what I'm looking at. I don't know why this is so like emphasized in this. Is this just like something they made some tracks with or something in the film? Like, what am I looking at? I'm so lost. Everything else is obvious. This is just, and the fact that she's got like these little like, you know, like museum curator gloves while she's handling it is very funny.
And so we've come to it with the greatest respect.
But it is everything, so we are taking the time to do it justice.
Fans are core to this franchise. It's because of their passion that we get these great opportunities to create new stories. Without them, there wouldn't be a Jurassic Park survival.
Oh, I hope this game is good. I really hope it's good. All right. Well, I don't really have anything else to say about this. I hope they you know, make a good game. I hope everybody hopes it's like Alien Isolation, and that's probably a really good template for them to follow. Fantastic game. So if you give me Alien Isolation, but a bunch of different kinds of dinosaurs instead of an alien, that sounds great to me. I think it is a little premature to guess that that's what the game is really going to be, but the little bit of gameplay we do see in this kind of points in that direction with like the gadgets and stuff like that. That feels very Alien Isolation. We haven't seen her point a gun at anything yet. That's great. I wouldn't be opposed. Like, there are guns on the island, so it would make sense for her to be able to, you know, get a gun and defend herself eventually. But so far, the survival horror aspect of just kind of trying to survive and flee from things is very appealing to me. Yeah. So hopefully this doesn't suck.